And then after that, Triple H comes down, and I'll be talking about this in an article that should be up on Bleacher Report on Thursday. But he comes down, he congratulates Roman Reigns, blah, 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 blah. Roman Reigns spears him. Sheamus comes down, cashes in on Roman Reigns. He kicks out of one bro kick, couldn't kick out of a second. Sheamus is your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. What the fuck? Like, who cares about Sheamus? And this isn't coming from someone who, I hate Sheamus, so I hate that he's champion. That has nothing to do with that. I like Sheamus. I was one of the few people that defended him when he came back as a heel right after WrestleMania. I said, great, this can be a money heel if they book him properly. They didn't book him properly. I was among the few that defended the choice to put the briefcase on him at Money in the Bank pay-per-view. That he wasn't my first choice, but I defended the choice to put the briefcase on him because I felt he hasn't been in the main event scene for a few years. He's a much better heel than he is a babyface, and he's a good worker. If only he can be booked properly. And silly me, he was not booked properly at all. He lost to Orton. He lost to the freaking Lucha Dragons. He lost to every freaking guy on the roster. And they wonder why he comes out to crickets. I feel like, Raw was kind of like the first step. He got some heat when he was berating the crowd, which was good. The promo I thought he cut at the start of the show last night was good. But other than that, the guy comes out to just a non-reaction because no one freaking cares. It's not like, the internet hates Sheamus so they're going to boo the shit out of him. No, it's a case of, I hate him so much, I'm going to change the channel. Or I'm just not going to boo him at all and he's going to come out to silence. That's not the reaction that you want your world champion to get, folks. The guy's not going to get over if he keeps on losing. Last night was, I guess, a step in the right direction. He didn't wrestle. He had a good promo, but he didn't wrestle. It's just the timing was all wrong. Maybe after WrestleMania, if they booked him properly, I didn't have faith they're going to do that anyway. I just would have had him cash in unsuccessfully. We talked about it on the show like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just thought it was so stupid to have him cash in on Sunday because just the wrong time, and he is not the answer to the low Raw ratings. The Raw rating last night, and I hate the ratings, that's just because there's nothing I can do to control it other than just tuning into Raw myself, and I do every single week. But just the ratings, one of the lowest ratings of all time, they just keep on plummeting. And this is for a post-pay-per-view Raw, people. It's not like it was on things. I know it's a holiday week, but people typically, after a pay-per-view, tune into Raw to find out what happened at the pay-per-view or what's next. Look at the Raw rating from last year. Last night's Raw, in terms of viewership, had less than 3 million people. That's embarrassing. Last year, after Sting debuted, and anyone who thought he was going to be on the show is kidding themselves. Sting didn't show up until Raw like 2 months later. But on that night, because people thought after what happened at Survivor Series, and after the Authority lost power, and people were excited to see what's next, I think they grossed at one point in the show over 4 million viewers. 4 freaking million viewers. And this is not like it's 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago. It's last year. They've lost almost 1 million viewers in a year. That's embarrassing. That's something they're just not doing right. You can blame DVR and that stuff all you want, like I have in the past, but at the end of the day, it's the freaking creative that people just don't care about. Right now, last night's Raw was so boring, and I'm not one of those people that shits all over these shows. I love WWE. I love wrestling. I consider myself one of the more positive fans in the universe, and if you know that I'm shitting on something, it's gotta be bad. The pay-per-view I enjoyed. Raw was dreadfully boring. And I'll be at TLC. I'm really, really hoping they can pull something out of their ass and pull out and deliver a good show. But so far, I really do not have much hope. We got Sheamus and Reigns in a TLC match. Should be good, but I just couldn't care less about Sheamus as champion right now. And the undercard isn't doing anything for me either. It's not like we have a lousy main event scene and some great undercard feuds. We got Ambrose and Owens. We have Ziggler and Breeze. We got a couple new feuds on the horizon, which is great. But last night's Raw did nothing to make me care about any single one of them.